Good day, grade 9s. Today we will be discussing sectors of the economy. As you know, we have many needs and wants. We satisfy these wants by buying goods and services. Businesses supply us with these goods and services that we use to satisfy our needs. Businesses are found in three different sectors in our economy. The first sector is the primary sector. Then we have the secondary sector. And finally, the tertiary sector. Let us explore the primary sector a little bit more. In the primary sector, we deal with the extraction of raw materials from the earth. The raw materials are then sold to individuals or businesses in order to make goods available to us. If we look at the primary sector, we're dealing with agriculture, that is farming. That's where our vegetables are grown, wheat is grown, cattle is farmed, sheep are farmed, and so that we can have food. We also have the mining industry in the primary sector. In the mining industry, we can mine coal, iron ore is mined. You also have the mining of platinum, the mining of gold. We also have in the primary sector, we also have the extraction of minerals. We also have the forestry industry in the primary sector. That's where trees are grown. We have the fishing industry in the primary sector. That is where we harvest fish. Okay, let's look at this next slide. It's just an example, it's few examples of the different sectors. Here is an example of the agricultural sector, a farm, fishing, forestry, and mining. Okay, then we have the secondary sector. The secondary sector is involved in the processing of the raw materials that we extracted in the primary sector. These raw materials are converted into consumable goods and intermediate goods. What are those? Intermediate goods are semi-finished goods. The goods can still be used further in the production process. Consumable goods are ready to be used. Let's look at a simple example. A fisherman sells a tuna that is caught to the canning factory. The canning factory cooks the tuna and places the cooked tuna into cans. The fish that was extracted from the sea, that was performed in the primary sector. It was then sold to the secondary sector for processing and canning. Here are a few more examples. A bakery is in the secondary sector. Cars are made in the secondary sector. Furniture is made in the secondary sector. Okay, so let us explore the tertiary sector. The tertiary sector is concerned with the distribution of raw materials and the distribution of manufactured goods. Okay, what are we talking about when we're saying the distribution of raw materials? That we're talking about the transporting of raw materials from the primary sector to the secondary sector. So we need trucks and rail and maybe air freight in order to do that. Once the raw materials are in the secondary sector, they are then converted into consumable goods. And those goods also need to be distributed. So from the manufacturing concern, goods are taken to shops or retailers or even wholesalers where they are further distributed and sold to us. The tertiary sector is also concerned with personal services. For example, hairstylists, plumbers, doctors, mechanics. I'm sure you can think of a few more personal services. We also have the financial services included in the tertiary sector, that is banking and insurance. This is a very important industry as it deals with each sector in the economy. For example, a farmer has to insure his crops, and that is dealt with in the tertiary sector. A manufacturer has to ensure the transport of his goods to the retailer, and that's also done in the tertiary sector. So you can see that the sectors are also interrelated. Here are a few more examples of the tertiary sector. We have a hairstylist, the banking sector, and the retail sector. We also have goods being transported in the tertiary sector. That concludes our lesson for today. Goodbye.